Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in. Take notes, grab a pen. The Honorable Marvin Coop Show. And
Raider Ragu Show. Yo,
yes,
yo,
sir.
yo, welcome in.
Yes, sir, man. Not these, because again, so we are doing the AFC, NFC South.
Back at it again.
Yes, sir. The great ones.
Hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pause, bro. You said we doing
What happened?
the NFC South. So
Pause. Yeah. Major pause. Major pause. Major
what he
pause.
means is, ladies and gentlemen, that we are continuing our series on the draft, the draft picks of the various teams from
Pause. Yeah. Major pause. My bad, yo. My bad, man. My
this
fault, y'all.
particular episode is about AFC and NFC South. All right. All right, my brother. Let's
Let's get it cracking. My bad, man. My fault. My fault, y'all.
No,
All
no, all good.
right. All right. The Houston Texans, man. They got Jaden some weapons. CJ Stroud some weapons. My fault. My fault. Jaden Higgins was a receiver on me and Ragu's radar. We did an episode about receivers. We talked about it on the Raider Ragu show and when it was, the No Big Deal podcast. Higgins is a good pickup. I ain't gonna lie. That's a nice little pickup for him. Yeah.
If you go on my page, the Raider Ragu Show on
Yes, sir.
YouTube, you will see a nice video about Jaden Higgins before the draft. We were
Mhm.
definitely intrigued about this prospect, and so was Houston. As it turns out, they follow from burners, so this
Yep.
guy was like around what I believe 38 Coop on the rank.
38.
Ranked 43. So, they got him a little early because Ragu might have talked him up too much.
Not gonna lie, Ragu talked a lot of these players up who shouldn't have been maybe where they should have been drafted. So shout out to Ragu for doing that. And
Yeah, man.
y'all need to be
Uh,
thanking them as well
I
too.
was gonna say they're welcome. Tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna say thank you. Say thank you or something, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. The agents and all that. I did you give?
He got you a job. He done got y'all a job. That's what's up. And then
Got your boys drafted nice and at a good draft position.
mhm.
Everybody can eat.
Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats. This the offensive tackle from Minnesota too was on I think on both our radar as well.
He was. Um, you know, it was a few guys ranked ahead of him,
Most
uh,
definitely.
like the guys that went ahead of him, and Mimbu and Campbell. Uh, what's our other guy? Banks,
Simmons, you had a few of
Josh
them.
Simmons, right?
And
All those guys were ranked higher than him, but he was right there, and he kind of a project guy, but also a big dude, bigger than all those dudes, I think.
oh yeah, most definitely. And I thought another one that could bench press 400 plus pounds. He got good footwork too. He could
So
probably be one of these project 10-year veteran guys who I can see.
that's what I was going to say. He probably end up being a good player in the league, man.
Almost definitely. He probably could start regular. He could probably start on that tackle side, especially that right side looking weak. So he could probably earn him a starting spot this year. Yeah.
Now, after the Ursary pick, they go a little early on Jaden Higgins' teammate, his running mate, if you will. Um,
hmm
he might have lasted to that second third round pick that they ended up getting, which was pick number 97. But guess what, bro?
They
He
got
was the 97th overall prospect. So that was a gamble. If they would have tried to leave him there and they had picked 97 and he was the 97th rated prospect, sometimes
Wow.
it goes right. You feel me?
You're right.
And they could have got him with that next pick, but they was like, nah,
Here's
we're
the
gonna jump
thing.
up and get him now.
Is this a good project to do right here?
They got some, huh?
Is this a good project to do right here? Put both Iowa. Hold on. My fault, y'all. Hold on. Ragu will be right back, y'all. Ragu will be right back. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Like the videos, comment on the videos. Share with everybody. Share with your friends, your mom, your dad, cousins, grandmothers, grandpas, your aunties, your uncles. Anybody you want to share with, man. Just share the channel. Also subscribe to Raider Ragu's channel, the Raider Ragu Show. They follow for burners on YouTube as well. I'll let him give you the audio version of where you can find his podcast at. I will be also working on the audio versions as well. So this is a nice little commercial break. Shout out to my wife Alexis. I love you so much. Shout out to my family, my pops, my mom, my brothers, my sisters. Shout out to JC as well. All Grind Sports. Go subscribe there as well. Andre the Sports Junkie. My man Jay Will the third. He's a great sports guy as well. All the people who are affiliated with the Marvin Coop Show, the Raider Ragu Show, and All Grind. We all support you, man. Shout out to my man Ant. You know, Ant Hill Productions. My man Tanner. You got Ray. Who else am I missing, man? It's just so many people we associate with, y'all. So until Radio Ragu gets back, you can just call this a commercial break. But we'll be back shortly. So stay tuned. We have more great content for you. We have NBA content, football content, which we're doing now. Also, I started some WWE content. I posted a video yesterday of the WWE pay-per-view rewind. It's a trend that I'm going to be starting here, to where me and my colleagues will pick uh, a pay-per-view from our choosing. Of course, I just said pick, and we'll discuss it, rate it, and just bring back some good memories. So I'm doing that as well. Also, some music. I'm also getting back into hip hop. I got to get with JC and do a hip hop show with him as well. My man, 16 Bars, shout out to him. The hip hop episode we did, we got a lot of good feedback on that from TikTok. So we'll be also be recording some more shows on that as well. Also, any type of life stuff. I'm just trying to do something different with this show. Also, shout out to Nael. That's my homie. We'll also be discussing some more shows as well with her. So just stay tuned, man. I got a lot for y'all. So, like I said, we just waiting for Radio Ragu to be back. We'll continue the program. Until then, I appreciate y'all for being patient with me, rocking with me, listening to me talk for a minute. Yeah, waiting for Radio Ragu. Matter of fact, hold on.
Oh, yeah, you're fucking with me, huh? All right. That's how y'all do me, huh? I ain't got nothing on it. You said what? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Word is bond. Word is Bizai. Word is Bizai. She keep calling. I'm taping. She just keep calling. Total disregard.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, man.
Hold on. What? What you say? All right. Yeah. She just keep calling the nigga. All right. I switched to my iPad.
I got you.
I think it should be good.
No doubt, my guy. Yeah, so what
I thought that was I didn't even know it was me going out. I thought that was you going out.
oh no, you good, you good. What I was saying was, you think this should be a project to where they could start both of them, see how they connect with CJ, the Higgins and Noel.
Well, perhaps shit, they three wide receiver sets with Nico.
Oh yeah, Nico.
It could happen. They could definitely be on the field at the same time if it happens that way in camp. I'm sure they didn't draft them for nothing. They got these dudes pretty high draft picks.
Right.
They didn't just do that. So I'm
That'd
sure.
be
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be a good experiment. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be a good little experiment for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they got the USC guys, the Jalen Smith, Woody Marks. I like those picks as well. You know, especially the Jalen Smith one. That's a nice one. That was a nice little pick.
Yeah, as a USC guy here in LA, I like Woody. It don't look like they was too high on the pick as far as the so-called experts, but I like the pick right there. Um, at 116.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
That's
So
right at the edge of the players we talk about, right?
pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
That's
Especially
right.
like I know one of them who was on our radar kind of went sixth round, so there was still at least a good couple of them that they could have picked over Marks, but like I said, Marks is an underrated player. I'm glad they got him for a steal. Maybe try to utilize him in their offense.
Perhaps.
You know, Jalen Reed, good safety from Penn State. He wasn't a bad pickup. I can definitely see him not
Now that
being.
was a good pickup because he was expected to be like a little higher than he's expected to go a little higher than 187.
That's what I said too. I thought he'd at least be like a third round pick, but he fell to
147th ranked prospect. So,
yeah.
think about it like that.
Damn. Well, that's yeah. I can't. I wonder what made him fall that low.
Me too.
What made him fall that low? Graham Mertz. No, I wasn't too high on him. I didn't even know he was actually entering the draft. To be honest with you, because I thought
Me,
Graham. You didn't know either.
nah, and probably shouldn't have. But I guess I can't say he shouldn't have because he got drafted. So
Yeah, that's what I was like. Yeah, he ended up being on somebody's board and somebody's team. So
yeah,
most definitely.
but nothing to. I mean, he's decent. He's decent, man. He's not a bad QB, but
Yeah, he ain't no scrub or nothing.
I would have to see a little more, do a little more research on him,
Yeah,
see how many games he actually quarterbacked.
yeah.
Uh,
See his resume real quick. See what he's talking about.
yeah.
The defensive tackle Hamilton from Rutgers though went super low, seventh round, of course. One of these guys from Rutgers. I love Rutgers University, but didn't get a lot of TV time this year, so nobody really got a chance to really see how he operates, see how he plays on the field. Solid D tackle though, it wasn't bad. Uh, and then we got the Luke from Iowa. The Iowa tight
Luke.
ends, yeah, the Iowa tight ends, as we all know, Greg Kittle, they have some good playmakers over there.
Yeah, Kirk Ferentz, he does a good job coaching the tight ends and the O line
Right.
over.
So I'm interested to see how they will utilize him in Houston. Well, overall, Texas didn't do so bad.
No, they didn't.
We kind of already established that they're gonna run the South for a while now. Yeah.
I believe that is probably the case.
And
Indy
like
is probably like, you know, got something to say about that.
think Indiana got something to say? Okay, let's
Indiana, you sound like JC.
Indianapolis, my bad, my bad, my bad.
Indy,
Indianapolis Colts,
Indy.
Indy, my bad, y'all. Indianapolis Colts.
Uh,
So
they probably got something to say about that. They plan on competing.
competing,
Yeah, I would say.
they kind of like us though. Quarterback.
How's that?
Who the quarterback? That's what I'm saying. They like the Steelers. Who the quarterback for real? Got you gonna give up on the kid from Florida that you drafted a few years ago? What's it? AR Anthony Richardson. You gonna go with Daniel Jones? Or are you gonna go with the rookie Riley Leonard from Notre Dame? At
Probably
least
Daniel Jones, man. I think Daniel Jones is going to
really.
I think so.
And you want to know the funny part? I saw the old clip I did when I was like, "Can we put Daniel Jones in there?" And you started rolling, and he ended up
Yeah.
getting a job. So you welcome, Daniel Jones. We got you a job, bro. We got you a job. But the Colts, we got
Still
you a
funny though.
job. It's still funny though. It is. But the Colts, they drafted Tyler Warren, which was a good pickup from Penn State. The defensive end from Ohio State, JT, is also a good pickup on this, especially on the defensive side. Justin Wally from Minnesota has some concerns with him as well. His height. He's not a good tackler. Jalen Travis from Iowa State. Once again, we just said these Iowa State guys ready to play. DJ Giddens from, huh?
Yeah, most of the time.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Then the
Giddens
can,
from Kansas State, right?
yeah, that was a nice little pickup for him.
Sure was.
Nice little pickup for him. I didn't expect him to go that low though. 151, fifth round. I didn't expect that.
Me either. Well, you know, you never know with them running backs. You just never know.
Right. I get you though. But all other than all, Riley Leonard went to six. Tim Smith from Alabama was a good pickup. I think he should probably see the field this year. He's a good defensive tackle. And
And it was
Hunt,
a lot of running backs.
yeah, the running back class was loaded, pause. It definitely was. Because you could get a running back in each round. For real. You really wanted to, though.
Uh-huh.
Safety Hunter from Wisconsin. He was one of my hidden gems, too. Nice pickup, though. But overall, you said the coach might have something to say. I'll say
One day.
they might have a few things to say. It just depends. They have some playmakers on offense now. Tyler Warren is a good playmaker. Shout out to my man Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr. You have some. Yeah, they could, right?
So
Cool.
Giddens and Jonathan Taylor, man, that's gonna be, man.
That's gonna be epic right there. You're right. That
It's
could
gonna
be
be a little
something.
problem right there. They do need to get the quarterback situation settled. I feel you on that, but I don't think a 6th round pick. I don't think plan is for him to be the starters, the Riley Leonard kid. So
Yeah,
that's more of a project / maybe backup. So you know, they still got Richardson. They haven't given up on him. They probably
right.
drafted him too high. And then they got
Daniel Jones.
Daniel. So they got to get that short up. But I like the Giddens pick at 151. That was good, man.
That was by far they Steelers draft right there. Was Giddens right there. Now you have somebody to really run the field.
Look
Just
right here, Coop. Another Iowa State kid, bro. Jalen Travis, 127th overall, the 4th round. They kind of stole him. I feel like he was a little bit better,
Yeah,
than
I agree.
going 127th. He should have been top 100, I feel like.
I agree with you on that one. And like I said, he could possibly definitely see the field as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially they O-line is dirt. Maybe put the young kid in there, see what he can do.
What you say about the corner, Wally? You had did work on him?
Short, not a
On
good tackler. Just short, not a good tackler. I don't know where you can actually put him in the league, period. But he
So
got
that wasn't a
drafted.
good pick. That wasn't a good pick, in other words.
Not to me at all. But he like I said, he found some way to make it in the NFL and make it on the college team somewhere.
God bless him. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. You did your thing, man. But I just he just too short for me. I ain't gonna lie to
I
you.
like the Tyler Warren, though.
Tyler Warren is definitely a good pickup, bro. I definitely agree with you on that one. But like I said, they have playmakers, Ragu. They really do.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's just the cornerback situation, man.
We'll see.
Okay, so hold on. Do you think this is good CB height? 5'10", 180. You feel like that's a good cornerback height?
Not in this day and age, man.
Maybe if he
You got to be special. You know what I'm saying? You got to be, yeah.
like I said, I just don't feel like
Got to be bringing something to the table.
yeah, you just not tall, Paul. I just don't see it, you know. I don't see it. But like I said, I could be wrong. He probably could be. He could be a secret weapon. But I just don't see it, man. I don't he's not a good tackler to me. He's too short. Like,
Think you're going to have some challenges tackling.
if he can get his weight up at least to 200, I think he can, got to get that weight up. But just my 180, like you said, is not gonna cut it in the NFL.
It don't seem like it would, but, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them taller guys, they be thin to where they're not 200-pounders themselves, but you just like that kind of long, rangy, just making it a little tougher on them quarterbacks, man. Get it.
I'm gonna say this right here. It's a silly hot take. He could get away with it in this weak ass division, but if you play a team out that division, you ain't gonna get away with that.
Well, yeah, that winning the games in your division ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Yeah, because you could, like you said,
You can win all them games and
exactly.
still have to lose them. Right.
That's what I was like. Yeah, you could probably get away with it, like with Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, and then not quite sure if Hunter will be a number one in Jacksonville. And then, you guys are also going to be rookies with the Texans receivers as well. So, yeah, you could probably get away with it in that division, but not nowhere in the West or North or even the East for real now. So, yeah. Good luck to you, kid. You got drafted, so that's saying something. That's saying a lot. But the Colts so far, like I said, the draft class was good. Like maybe besides him, but you kind of like redeemed yourself with Tyler Warren, the JT pick,
Yeah,
and the Jalen Travis and the Giddens. I'm definitely impressed with those.
yeah.
Even the Alabama kid was a nice steal too. He's a good tackle.
You see both of them out there. You should.
Especially Tyler Warren. I look forward to see what his playmaking ability. But let's go to the Jags. Let's go to the Jags. Of course, Travis Hunter, cornerback receiver. What's the question on him, Ragu? What's it? I mean, you in Jacksonville, right?
Uh-huh.
Where would you put him?
All right, so for me, if it's me, if I'm the coach, what I've seen from him, and he swears he just has to play both. He wants to play both. Looking at my defense, I need him over there. I need him to play some really good cornerback for us.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Then I would hope that he would accept the return duties, kickoff and punt. We let him get out there for both of those. But I'm not trying to have the guy out here running around that receiver, bro, except for maybe and see, here's the thing, Coop.
Yeah.
in thinking about it as a coach, strategy wise. If I'm only running him out there 10 plays, then the defenses can when he is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's all eyes on him. So shit, half to 6 of the 10, maybe even 7, gonna have to be decoy plays anyway. Like,
Right.
because they're gonna be canned. So now you got him out there running around, not getting the ball, and he got to go play defense. So I got to see it done, bro. I got to see this shit done. I saw Dion doing it, pause, but
Yeah.
he was just adequate at receiver, bro. He wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was gifted, athlete, but didn't really have the time to put into being a receiver because he was a DB return guy. So
Yeah, exactly.
if Dion really wasn't fantastic at it, maybe this is the evolution of the athlete or something, bro. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna have a wait and see attitude on Travis Hunter playing both offense and defense in the league. But to answer your question, if it was me, I'll try to run him out there, man. 10 plays or so. Some of them is gonna be decoys, and if he's ever tired to start a defensive series and give up a big play, man, we're gonna have a conversation about that. About why you was winded? Because you insist on playing offense. So that's my take on it. Or hey, man, you play slot receiver. So it's some packages where you're not in, and then you play a little slot corner. Like you don't start that. Like you don't start neither one.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way, Coop, that I see him doing the being a two-way player in the league is where you don't actually like in base on either offense or defense, you're not in there.
Exactly.
But in the sub, you got the sub packages and you are in there. So you play a lot on both, but you do not start. So maybe that might be the approach. But do you draft a guy second overall, jump up to get him, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just
traded to get him.
To not start him at anything. So I don't think so. What you think?
Oh my goodness. So as my man Raider Ragu will say, let's keep it 1,000 out here.
Word.
If I'm a coach and I have Travis Hunter, I would be like, you may have to accept the fact you're not going to play both ways here. You're probably going to play receiver because our GM drafted Caleb Ransall the actual next round of the pick that we had available, which was the third round, and you drafted Caleb Ransall, who is not a scrub. So
at all.
He's a decent, great playmaker. I feel like he could get the job done. He could be one of these quiet lockdown corners like a Quinyon Mitchell, who won't get scored on like that. So I would be like, hey, man, you may have to accept the fact you may be on the receiver side. Pause. But yeah, you just may have to accept that fact, brother. I mean, would you want to experiment with the having him on one side and having him on another side? Would you want to make that gamble?
The two cornerbacks?
Yeah. Travis on the other side, Caleb on the other side.
I mean, man, it depends on what they working with right now. I don't really
Exactly.
know
Yeah, I
the
get you.
roster.
I get you. I don't know their roster either. I know they don't have a good receiver over there right now. So that's why I'm like, you may have to just be like, all right,
Well, besides Brian Thomas Jr., you mean.
I keep forgetting B over there. I keep forgetting B is over there, man.
Besides him, you say.
Besides him, I'd say yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But
So
that's so here's the thing. Once again, we're in a crazy situation here, Ragu. Do you want the chance to have two good receivers? I think Travis Hunter could be a good receiver. And I also think he could be a good cornerback as well. Or do you want to have two great lockdown corners? Is it the defense or the offense? It also depends on our scheme as well. Do you want to be more defense or offense?
for me, if you give me my choice like that, I'm gonna say go play defense, man.
Go play defense.
Yeah, because like I feel like I could coach it up
Right.
on offense. Um, when you have confidence in your scheme and your strategy, you feel like you can make a little something happen. You got a little more control.
Yeah.
But I was always taught put the dogs on defense, bro.
You got to. You
Like
got
when
to.
when we was coaching, you could ask Fang. If we get a new player or something, man, we don't know what to do with him. All right, so shit, put him on defense
I'm on
somewhere.
defense.
Oh,
Right.
defense. So, um, yeah, put them, number 2 overall.
Number two. That's what I'm
Defense. And
saying. You got you. This
put
is a this is
the number 3 pick, the 3rd round pick, 88th overall, at the other, or at the slot. Listen, it's a copycat league, right?
yes, it is.
Who just did this? Philly,
Man.
right? They went Quinn
Right.
Young and Cooper,
Cooper DeJean. Yep.
right, in the same draft.
Mm-hmm.
So teams ain't afraid to do that no more. You're like, okay,
Exactly.
like that's what we doing. Now Big Wyatt Millum, the offensive tackle in West Virginia,
Yeah.
was on my radar. He was starting to get down pretty far in the tackle rankings, but and then let me just keep it 1,000 while we gonna say the tackles.
He went third, 89. Wow.
He was the 8th guy taken off of there, so he was the 7th rated tackle coming in. So they got him right on schedule, a little better, he lasted to the 8th tackle. And that's because Chicago, and they always do shit like this too.
Mm.
They take the wrong guy.
Like always, man. Like always.
But they get Ozzy Trapillo, who was the 10th rated tackle. They get him at the 7th tackle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they feel like, I mean, sometimes if your guy is your guy.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Your board is your board. Your guy is your guy. But but I just think, man, Wyatt probably should have went ahead of that guy. Wyatt Millum over Ozzy Trapillo. I could be wrong. And we'll see. But good pick right there. All right, for Jacksonville. That
Perfect
Wyatt
timing.
Millum pick at number 89.
Perfect timing. What you
Yeah.
saying? Oh, your guy, the Virginia Tech running back, they also pay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What you you know what's up with that, right?
exactly. Here's my thing. You have Travis E.N.T. Jr., right? You have the Tank Bigsby, who was also stepping up. Then you go and draft Tootin, and shout out to nephew LaQuint Allen from Syracuse, who I
Man,
feel like is a talented running back as well. What are you going to
absolutely
do?
is.
What are you going to do with 4 running backs, Jacksonville? What are you doing? I feel like you wasted these kids' time. That's just an honest opinion, Raku. I feel like you wasted TNT time. And Tank has stepped up for Travis when he was hurt last year. Does it trade bait? Could you trade Travis Etienne Jr.? It's some questions that you
Man,
could do with
I ain't
the
gonna lie, Marv. What a running back room.
yeah. Now the question you asked me, what room am I impressed with? I'm looking at these kids like, hey, yo, the running backs is crazy. What the hell are we gonna do? I'm also scratching my head like, hey, what we gonna do with these 4 talented young brothers right here? Because despite Travis being hurt, he's still a good running back. He could be a good option on another team.
See, that's what I think that's what they saying though. He's been injured, and then they leaving the golden boy holding the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and he ain't able to carry the whole weight.
He's not. Not.
So now what do? They got him Brian Thomas Jr. Now they go Travis and 2 running backs, 2 really good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
And he already had 2.
Exactly.
So 4 running backs got him the I think he led rookies except Bowers, right? Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr.
And now they go ahead and get Travis Hunter to help out. So
Right.
they trying to surround the William Trevor Lawrence with some weapons, and they did that.
Right.
So it's about to be put up or shut up for him. And they grabbed another a corner that people respected too, that pick. So
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying with the defensive side. You still have AJ, one of the quietly locked down corners. You draft Caleb, who I feel like is a good corner. And then you still have Josh Allen, the linebacker over there. That's what I'm saying. It's a big question mark. And I don't mean to keep going back to Travis. Do you want to put him, like I said, you can put him with either one. But I just feel like, yeah, you're right. And what you said about Herbert yesterday is also the same for the kid we just gave all this money to as well, William. So yeah, you're right. No excuses. We got what you need now.
and the Jack Kaiser, he was a guy that I took a look at. So
Yeah.
with the way the league is, without all of 3, 4, 5 receiver sets.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Fang. Him and I talked about this a few weeks back. Starting to be more DBs on the field, and you need DBs that can cover and DBs that can tackle.
Yes.
However, there is still a need for linebackers, and it's not a deep position. So there was only like 4 or 5 guys
Right.
that you were
Right.
honestly looking at as draft picks that was going to come in and probably start. And Kaiser was one of them, bro. He was one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good pick. And then as a USC guy, big number 70, man, Jonah Monheim was our best lineman for the last 3 seasons. So, for whatever that's worth. And he played all over. He played all the positions: tackle, center, guard.
Yeah, he's one of those utility linemen that we talked about.
Yeah, he was to the O line what Jalen Smith was to the corner or the DBs there. He was kind of that DB, Jalen that could play anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Monheim Jonah was the big lineman, man, that they could kind of put anywhere that they were lacking. If they were, needed a position that wasn't as good that recruiting year, and they just put Jonah there. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good pick too. And then we already talked about LeQuint. So up and down, good drive for Jacksonville. And I'm gonna say this. I'm
gonna put this in there too. Lane is also one of my hidden gems from Navy, one of the safeties.
Yeah.
He was actually a good hidden gem.
Rayon, how you say his name?
Oh, Rayon Lane.
Rayon Lane.
Mm-hmm.
So so far, Mar, the best draft in the division. So far.
Best draft in the division. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I can definitely
when you talk about grabbing some talented players, strategy or whatever, because I know it was like, why they getting all these backs, but talent of players at the spots where they got them at,
yeah,
they did the best to me so far in this division that we've been covering.
Man, just make it work, Jacksonville. Make it work. That's all we ask. Like, for real. And we are the Tennessee Titans, who had, of course, the no-brainer first round pick, Mr. Cam Ward. What else you do?
Yeah, he made that a no-brainer for them.
And I think we talked about this. Another UCLA defensive player.
And then they immediately got to reach.
And the reason why I say Titans draft was so corny and D+ material was because of what you just said right there. You just said they started reaching, which they did. Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State was an injury-prone safety, which I'm like, okay, he was drafted. Shout out to him. Don't know nothing about the Florida receiver. Gunner is a decent blocking tight end. He's good. Now, Alec from Stanford, the receiver, he's been on our radar.
That's a good pick. That's their best pick, man.
That's a good pick right there.
As far as where they got him and the caliber of guy so far, man, besides Cam, that's the best pick.
The best pick is it's definitely Stanford. Stanford kid. I definitely Marcus Harris though. He's a sleeper from Cal.
I like the Winston pick too, Kevin Winston, the safety. Because he could have easily went higher than that.
Yeah.
So that was a good pick too. But they reached for the UCLA guy, bro. I feel like I
don't know what in the world made them think that he was a second round talent pick to where you had guys who was way more talented before him. That's what I'm saying. Like, did UCLA have some Did they have some decent defensive players that we didn't know nothing about?
They must have. Now, I will say I like the Mullings. 188. That's not a bad spot to get him at. That I think he's going to be a decent player in the league. Big back from Michigan,
He
six
should.
six
He
two
should
two
probably.
thirty.
He could start.
He might start. He might start.
There's no running backs in the Titans room right now.
Hey, he might start, man, for them. And they should have got some more running backs.
They should have. They should have.
They didn't do that good, man. Right.
No, that's why I say the D plus material. That's just like I said, my very first D plus draft grade is to the Tennessee Titans.
And yeah, some of these cats could end up making us sound stupid later. Right?
Not the Titans.
If
I can always count on them to make me look right. I ain't gonna lie to
if
you.
they end up knowing something that nobody else knew, right?
Exactly.
Maybe, but I don't think so, man. I think they reached on a lot of guys,
They did, brother. They did.
and they were kind of forced to get Ward because they don't have a quarterback, and he, you know, I don't even count that. And from there, they immediately start reaching for guys.
They did, brother. They did. Um, let's go to this NFC South. Now, this one's going to be a little more interesting than the AFC South.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Falcons. The Falcons only really had 5 picks, which was Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Watts, Billy Bowman Jr., and Jack Nelson. With those 6 picks, Ragu, all 6 of them are going to see the field this year. And I'm going to tell you why. You got the good offensive tackle from Wisconsin to block for Penix. Jalen and James is definitely going to start. Xavier is going to be on the other side of Jesse Bates. And Billy, I think I saw on his Instagram, I follow him on Instagram, that he's starting on special teams.
You said Jack Nelson blocked for who?
Jack Nelson is going to block for Penix. Offensive tackle.
Okay. And usually the Wisconsin linemen that go to the league are pretty good.
Exactly. So he's going to be one of these 10-year guys that we were talking.
Wasn't really high on Bowman Jr. That's me.
No, and he's a special teams guy though. Yeah.
Xavier Watts right there at where they got him. That's a good pick. You're right about that.
It's a good pick.
We both talked about Pierce being a guy, and there's that 6. Oh, he's 6'5", 245. You know, usually 6'3", 250, but
yeah,
he's a little tall.
He go, yeah.
That's a good pick. Jalen Walker, remember we said, you know, my only knock was in base, where do you put this guy? He's obviously a pro, you know, 6'1", 240, 243. That was a good pick. So you're right. They only had a few picks, but they kind of nailed them all, except for the Bowman was a little bit of a hand scratcher, especially after they got Watts. They must really need safeties. But yeah, they did pretty good.
I think they can have a low-key good defense, and I say that every year because of the moves that they make and the talent that they bring over there. They just have to utilize them right. And Raheem, you have to call some shots on the defense, man. Like you really do.
I know if you want to stay out of it.
I don't think he shouldn't have to though. Look what he did with the Rams defense when he was over there. Raheem, you're a defensive guy, brother. I feel like you pushed to get this Pierce. Man, this is not a paper game. We said this before, Ragu. I understand. But on paper, with the talent that you have over there, got AJ Terrell some help in the secondary. AJ and Bates some help. Man, you got a good front seven now.
Yeah,
You got to make this work.
I agree.
You got to make this work, man. Like, for real. Now, for the defense, there is no excuses now. In this weak division, like you said, you got to make it work. Like, come on, man. You got to make it work, man. Do something, Atlanta. That's all I can say. Do something. Let's go to.
We'll see.
We shall see. You are absolutely right. We shall see. Now, the Carolina Panthers, Ragu. I like these picks. I actually, for once, like these picks on the Carolina Panthers. I had no issue with these picks at all. T-Mac. My fault. T-Mac, the Texas A&M defensive end.
Yeah.
Nick, he's been impressive. Another
Yeah.
Ole Miss guy.
He was a guy. Yeah, Princely, the edge, 6'4", 244,
Incredible.
forever. Travis
Travis brother. Good one. Another O State safety. The other O State guy went there. Now, Cam Jackson, who pretty much was the leader on the Florida defensive line, that right there was a steal. Not gonna lie to you. That was a steal. Mitchell Evans could possibly be like a Kyle Pitts and being a slot receiver. He's a good little playmaker. I don't know if people like watch Notre Dame like that. Tyrell might know about Mitchell Evans though. He's a Notre Dame fan.
He's a big guy.
And let's another Colorado, Jimmy's son, Jimmy Horn.
Yeah, he made it.
Yeah, I like this pick. You know, we all know T-Mac was gonna go in that first round. I didn't know he was gonna go to the Panthers. So
Yeah,
he stayed in the top 10 though.
he did. Got him up. Should be a big time weapon. They say. We'll see.
Here's
Bryce.
who, bruh. I'm trying to tell you, Xavier, T-Mac, and Jimmy.
Yeah,
Man, listen.
Jimmy
And
might have been a steal.
Jimmy could be a steal too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, Jimmy's a steal. But I like that Cam Jackson too, man. That was a good one.
If he comes in with the right attitude.
Only thing that irks me a little bit about the Panthers, I love the picks. Like I said, I'm not going to go back on my word with that.
A little bit of O-line.
Still didn't get nothing to protect Bryce. What's going on, y'all?
They just totally ignored it.
They keep ignoring the fact that no offensive help at all. And on top of that, I didn't even see them sign nobody in free agency yet. We'll see though. But here's the thing, like I said too last year. Maybe they see something we don't, because the offensive line Ragu last year did kind of pick it up. You know, maybe they was like, y'all picked it up these last few games.
Maybe so. I mean, that has to be it. That has to be it.
I'm hoping that is the case, because
otherwise they playing with the young guys' health. Let alone
exactly.
Let alone
so they choosing
like,
they choosing to rock with you. So you're right. You're probably right.
They playing with my man health if they don't think that something about that OL is better.
Man. Saints. This diabolical draft was by far disgusting. And nephew, I don't mean to clown you. nephew of Dill Diggs, he got drafted. Shout out to him. Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you. From Syracuse. He went number 7. But I'm still, once again, I mean, Kelvin Banks was a good lineman. We had him on our radar.
Yeah, most definitely.
Tyler Shaw is a complete disaster. Not getting that at all. And then now not Drew, excuse me. Derek is gone. So here's the track who Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shaw are going to be competing for a job in the New Orleans Saints organization.
Yeah, the 26-year-old QB from Louisville.
I can tell you what unit has not improved, and that's the QB room right there. That's not improved at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's not improved.
Is he that one that they had showed when they were showing like they took Shador after this guy?
Yes, over
Yeah.
this, they took him over Shador, brother. But did you see his combine? Missing passes.
That's the video they showed of him.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's
And
bad.
it didn't look good either. It
didn't
looked
look good
garbage.
at all, man. And this is why I feel bad for Vernon. Big Vernon got drafted. Congratulations to him too, the Texas defensive tackle. But here's the thing: him alongside Cam Jordan would be good. He can learn from Cam. That's a solid pickup. Now Jonas from Virginia, I'm not quite sure. I don't know nothing about him.
Who?
Yeah. Jonas Sanker from the safety from Virginia.
Uh,
I didn't really.
they had a lot of picks.
They did, and Devin Neal was a steal. I'm surprised Devin went in the 6th round.
There was a lot of backs, man.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are thought of as backup guys or third down guys. A lot of them aren't thought of all as like full-fledged backs, like I kind of was thinking, because you could tell by how low some of them went. But I feel like that's a good pick, Devin Neal, right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably the only impressive pick in the Saints draft at all. Other than that, what you just did right there, scratching my head like, who the hell? Why?
Yeah, they draft was kind of they draft was kind of nasty, bro.
It was. It was. I'm like, what? Why? Like, who? What? Where? When? Like, why did they do this? But yeah, it was.
Yeah, the draft was kind of nasty by the Saints, brother.
It was.
Like, I did a lot of research, and these guys aren't any of the guys.
There are no type of playmakers whatsoever. And like I said,
who are some of these guys? I don't want to get disrespectful. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. My boy Diggs, Syracuse on. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking you, nephew, but
yeah,
the guys before you, bro. The tight end is not the good one from UCLA. I said the only one I'm impressed with is Devin and probably Banks. But as far as, like I said before, Tyler was a question mark. Jonas, I never seen. Danny's is like, I'm surprised he got drafted, but he did get drafted. And Quincy Riley from Louisville is not a good cover safety, though. I'm just looking like, what were they thinking? What they look like they didn't have a game plan at all.
It's like this dude is really just taking that lady's money, man. The GM, Loomis, whatever his name is.
That's all they doing, brother.
This draft has no rhyme or reason.
Waste of time. Waste of time. Waste of time.
They threw a UCLA guy in there as well to for good measure. I'm kind of speechless, man. I like the Devin Neal right there where they got him at, and
the Banks. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, what was your point for any of these other picks?
And I guess we'll see. Maybe we're wrong about some of it. And some of the guys are probably decent. I just kind of question where you took them at.
I'm gonna
Like you reach. They reach for everybody.
let me do a hot take because I wouldn't be hot take Marv if I didn't say this. When we do a rookie show mid-season or after the season, I guarantee you we won't mention nobody on the Saints. I promise you that. I promise you that. I promise you that. I guarantee you we will be like, who? Like, I forgot about him. Maybe Banks if they start him. But other than that, I'm like, I don't see no us talking about nobody on New Orleans Saints though. But you know what though? That's such a funky organization, regular. They could probably play all these people to see what we got. Because it seems like with the Saints, they have no direction whatsoever.
They said we won't be talking about any of these guys on
We
the rookie
won't
show.
be talking about nothing from on the rookie show. Oh my goodness. We're probably gonna look up their stats and be like, NA didn't even play yet.
Right.
That's gonna be bad. But yeah, that's just a hot take right there, man.
Man.
Buccaneers draft was questionable too. With the Omeka kid from O State. It didn't make sense at all to me.
Yeah. Egbuka.
Ibuka, Emeka
Everybody
Ibuka.
could have got even maybe perhaps down to the second round. But not where they picked at in the second round. But they did reach a bit for this guy. They did not have him as the guy. And with them re-signing Godwin.
Yes. And Mr. Evans is still number one. Is this a future pick?
I think so.
Okay. Now it makes sense. And like I said, me looking at the seventh round with Tez Johnson.
To me, this pick says, this is our guy. We identified this guy in our scouting department at some point, and they had him as a overall ranked 29th prospect. They know where he was, due to fall on somewhere in the draft, and they didn't want to risk not getting their guy. I mean, this was one of those. This is
Exactly.
our guy, and we're going to get our guy. That's what this was.
Man.
Now, this next guy was on my radar. Scouted him, did, some research on him, and was actually not mad at the Raiders even perhaps selecting Benjamin Morrison, the corner from Notre Dame. A solid in coverage, but what I like about him is a willing tackler.
Mm-hmm.
Will definitely stick his nose in there whenever he can. He's one of them type, like, man, not shying away from any tackles, any contact. So I like that about it.
And Benjamin Morris, man, if y'all watch that national championship, man, straight locking down shit until that fourth quarter. Like I said, hell of a defender. Benjamin Morrison is a hell of a defender.
Yeah.
And actually, to be honest with you, shout out to him for actually being one of these corners who have played consistent all year. Not just have one game. He will have consistent good games all year. So shout out to him, man.
And then, like we talked about with the copycat league with Philly, they go corner. They come with Jacob Parrish from K-State right after Benjamin Morrison. So that's like a trend.
Exactly.
Right? Corner
Mm-hmm.
in the draft, man. You got to get them. You got to get them, man.
Exactly. And then they went edge too.
Hey, you got to have those guys out there. And then after that, a little bit of reaching.
Yeah, super reaching with these two.
Got a tad bit I mean, with Ricci from the beginning, redeemed him on the next two, and then proceeded to get a little bit. Well,
Tez was a reach. I'm sorry, Ragu. Tez was,
but I'm saying that David Walker, from the edge guy,
right.
David Walker, that they got at 121. He was like a top 100 prospect, so that was good. That was a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
But immediately went back and got Ricci again with the SMU guy and
The Oregon guy.
Oregon guy. That's Ricci. Elijah Roberts, man, he might end up being all right though. He's a bigger DN.
Yeah.
And they play that 3-4. So he's a 3-4 hand in the ground DN. You know that
Okay.
he's that guy. So they got a little Ricci there, but I like the Walker. I like Benjamin Morrison. So
Mm-hmm.
I just from the beginning they reached. They reached from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They draft was like up and down.
Pretty much. And only had 6 picks, so yeah. It's like, damn, what we gonna get with these 6 picks, y'all?
Yeah.
It was more like a panic mode for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Tez ended up not being really fast like that at the combine, so his stock immediately went down.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was about to run like 4.2 or something.
And then you signed Shiloh on a undrafted deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Sam. So they kind of beefed up that defense, okay?
They did. They did that.
Wow. Man. Okay.
They did, especially the back end. Pause.
It's boss. It's all good. But yeah, wow. What to expect from the South this year?
Same, status quo. 9-8. It's gonna win the division. Maybe
I think a 10. I think a 10-7.
I was gonna say somebody might squeak out 10 and perhaps win division 10-7, but everybody else is gonna be 8-9, 9-8. It'll probably be a 6-11 in there.
Hell no, hell no, not with the NFC South. I see 1 3-14 team, and that's the damn Saints. I ain't gonna lie to you, Rag. I can see the Panthers. Like I said, if they line can really stay consistent and grow and take over and leave off where they was last year on week 18 and still stay gelled together, they could be a 9. Like I said, we'll save all the predictions for our prediction episode, people. But I can see them competing for them. As far as like that,
I would love to see Bryce get it together in Carolina as well.
Facts. As far as the AFC, man, we could possibly say the same for them. I think the Texans can run the show. Like you said, maybe the Colts could have something to say. But as far as like the Titans and Jags, I think they'll be in the same spot, man. For real.
Yeah, this is it for Trevor in my mind, man. You got weapons.
Mm-hmm. No excuse now.
And the ball off to they should come in at least second in this division, man.
The Jags?
Yeah, they should. If Trevor if he's worth anything, we already think in Houston, right? It's gonna win the division, but man, they better push Houston and at least come in second, man. Or what is it all for?
Exactly. What did we trade up for?
And now you just ride out that contract, I guess. If he's not if he don't do it, make no noise this year, man, because they got some guys.
Right.
And they gonna have a lot of eyeballs on them too, I believe, because of Travis. People want to see, him play.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be a very interesting season.
So yeah, I'm thinking, Houston and should be Jacksonville, then Indy, and then Tennessee. The rookie Q doesn't have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
Not going to be a good season for them.
Not good at all. I can't wait for the prediction episode, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of predictions formulated in my mind right now. So I'm getting them all together now.
Yeah.
Gathering them.
This is funny. I don't know. Any last thoughts on the South before we get? I just knew we weren't gonna have a lot to say about the South. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Not me, at least. I'm just looking at. I knew we was gonna do this episode today, and that's why I stayed up late because I was like going through the North and the South, and I'm like, I'm not gonna have nothing really to say about the South, which is like, damn. I was like, that's
And
gonna probably be the shortest episode.
It's largely going to be like the same. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like when I watched the East video yesterday too, and of course the West video was perfect, and I'm just sitting
Yeah.
here thinking like the North is probably going to be interesting as well, and then I look to the South, I'm like, hmm, time to go to bed. I was just like, all right, don't
Be
really
like,
have much to
okay,
say.
let me just pull out what I said last time. There you go. All right, there you go.
Exactly, like sort of copy and paste, like this and that,
Yeah,
say this and that. Because I'm looking at the pics, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what was they doing? But yeah, I'm just like, okay,
No strategy.
no strategy at all. Especially like with the Bucks, they had 6 picks, like we just said. All right, what we gonna do? Who we gonna pick? Who can we get? And Tennessee picks was just like, okay, we got Cam. That's all we really needed. So they didn't really give a shit about the other picks.
Right.
I was like, all right, that was funny though, bro.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. It's crazy. I can't wait to do the North episode though. That's gonna be
And that'd be it, huh?
that'll be it until we, have our other topics.
North and North.
That's it. I can't wait to do that North one though.
Yeah, I bet you can. North and North.
North and North, man. My man, Raider Ragu, man.
It was nice, brother.
Most definitely, my guy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if y'all are not. Show us some love. Subscribe to both channels. We will be back with more heat.
North and North.
North and the North is next, y'all.
North and North is next. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Just win, baby.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.